Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
How 10,000 Greeks defeated an empire. The epic battle of Marathon, 490 BC.
In 490 BC, the Persian Empire, under King Darius I,
this is a
sought to
different
subjugate the
channel.
Greek
This is not like
city-states.
the channel that did the graphics for the
No,
in Cyprus.
no, it's a different one.
Oh.
This conflict was rooted in the earlier Ionian Revolt, where Athens and Eretria had supported the Ionian cities in their rebellion against Persian rule. Angered by the Greek interference and their raid on Sardis, Darius vowed to punish Athens and Eretria. The Persian forces, commanded by Datis and Artaphans, embarked on a campaign to subdue Greece. Their fleet successfully besieged and captured Eretria before landing at the plain of Marathon.
Wow, the fight of land is like a constant in this area because they already had taken over the part of ancient Greece, the what's it called? Antanola?
Anatolia.
Anatolia?
Yeah, Europe, overall, the whole Europe, and
Yeah, back and
wars,
forth. Yeah.
fighting, love fighting.
The Athenians, recognizing the imminent threat, sought assistance from Sparta, but religious festivities delayed the Spartans. Thus, the Athenians, joined by their allies from Plataea, prepared to face the Persians alone. The Greek army
Alone?
primarily consisted of heavily armored hoplites, citizen soldiers equipped with spears, large shields, helmets, and breastplates. These troops fought in the phalanx formation, a dense line of soldiers moving in unison, providing both offensive and defensive strength. Additionally, the Athenians included a small contingent of lighter armed troops, such as archers and javelin throwers, although
Wow, so
Whoa.
detailed descriptions, like
Whoa.
down to the weapons, the formations,
Yeah.
everything. I, I wonder, like, some warriors back then, they wrote it down, everything, to like the books to preserve it, or like how we know this information. That's so interesting.
played a minor role compared to the hoplites. On the other hand, the Persian army was a diverse force, drawn from various regions of the vast empire. It included lightly armored infantry, archers, and cavalry.
Oh,
The elite
wow.
Persian immortals, known for their heavy armor and distinctive shields, were a formidable component of this force.
Wow.
Despite their numerical superiority, the Persians were at a disadvantage in close combat against the heavily armored Greek hoplites, especially on the challenging terrain of Marathon. Facing an estimated 25,000 Persian infantry and 1,000 cavalry, the Athenians and Plataeans mustered around 10,000 hoplites. The Greeks chose Marathon's terrain.
Wait, but how were they at a disadvantage? Because Athens, they had less men.
Yeah, Athens had a disadvantage.
I thought they said Persia had a disadvantage.
Well,
because
Persia's,
of the well-armored.
yeah, Persians look like they don't
Athens.
have no armor, so
Oh.
like they weren't as ready, I guess, equipment wise. Plus, Athens also have the homeland, so homeland advantage.
And this is only part of the only Spartans showed up.
Using its marshes and mountains to negate the Persian cavalry's effectiveness. Miltiades, the Athenian general, devised a bold strategy, focusing on strengthening the flanks and thinning the center of their formation. Miltiades' plan was to lure the Persian center forward, then envelop them with a stronger Greek wing. This tactic exploited the Persian reliance on their elite center troops, who would push through the Greek middle, only to be surrounded and crushed by the flanks. At dawn, the Greeks launched a surprise charge down the slopes of Marathon.
Oh. I don't understand why this was the ideal strategy to go for the center.
I guess the best, well, that's what they said, the best troops were in the center, so kind of
Really?
don't fight them directly, but try to fight them from the sides. That's how I understand it.
Oh.
Because if if the sides are kind of like secondary troops, so you get rid of them quickly.
In football, the positioning of the people, the centers, they're the ones that block Like they're the strong ones that block, and the people on the side they go in to try to
Yeah,
get over to the other side,
on the
right?
sides of
So
runners.
if you make this weak, the center weak, it's ideal.
Yeah, you have to exploit the center to get to the quarterback.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, ooh, and that's what they try to protect the quarterback.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
so okay, same. This is tough.
Interesting visuals. I wonder if they use like computer gaming to produce. How do they produce these? Because this is, ain't no way somebody's sitting there and actually making this by hand. You know, there has to be some sort of software or something.
The tightly packed hoplites advanced swiftly, closing the distance under a hail of Persian arrows. Their formation, known as the phalanx, allowed them to move as a
Known
single
as the
formidable unit.
Phalanx.
That sounds familiar.
When I saw the word, I thought Sphinx. I don't know.
I thought of the something that's in your throat.
Oh, yeah. There's laryngitis or something to do with laryngitis,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there's something.
Whoa. Whoa. The arrows are the Persians?
Yeah, I think so.
The initial
'Cause
clash was fierce.
The Greeks have the good armor. The the archers, they don't really have the armor like that.
The Persians, led by their elite troops in the center, initially pushed back the thin Greek center. However, as the Persian center advanced, the Greek flanks held firm and began to envelop the Persian sides.
You know, I don't really understand combat like this.
And that was back in the day. I do wish the video was less visuals and more like about telling the story, what's going
Yeah, I
on.
don't like this. To me, this is interesting because to see the formations, to see what was the strategy. This is, I can see this, but the stabbing is like, that's extra. See, also there's people that are just standing too, like they're holding ground.
Well, this is just a video simulation. This is not exactly what happened, you know. This is just, I guess, how the computer software imagines a war would have happened at that time, how it would have looked like.
They're running away.
Yeah, so I guess two sides, the flanks retreated.
I wonder how you can decide that.
The battle line stretched over 1,500 meters, and as the Greek flanks closed in, the Persians found themselves trapped. With their center collapsing and their flanks overwhelmed, the Persian forces broke into a disorganized retreat toward their ships.
Glory, glory. Interesting, they even have like a soundtrack and everything. There must be some sort of software like war simulator or something that does this.
So you think they just let them go on the boat and leave?
I mean, what options they have? What, chase them in the water? Their whole point was to defend their land. Their point wasn't to chase them and sink their ships.
The Greeks pursued them relentlessly, inflicting heavy casualties. In the chaotic withdrawal, many Persians were caught in the marshes, further contributing to their losses.
Some of the boats turned around already.
Yeah, they said, fuck y'all. We dipping. We dipping.
Herodotus reports that approximately 6,400 Persians were killed, compared to just 192 Greeks.
What?
Though
Only
modern estimates
192
suggest the Greek
Greeks?
losses might have
I guess this video didn't do justice to the actual fight, because in
Yeah,
the fight
the
looked
fight
like
looked like
looked like more people were falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's not a lot of people at all.
Been
Wow,
higher.
good job.
I don't know.
The victory at Marathon was monumental, demonstrating the effectiveness of the hoplite phalanx and Miltiade's strategic brilliance.
I don't
It
know
proved a
if they were to
significant
call
morale boost
on
to the
people today to fight like this. I don't know how many people will show up.
Greeks, proving that the mighty Persian Empire could be defeated, and setting the stage for future Greek resistance. According to legend, a Greek soldier named Pheidippides ran from Marathon to Athens, covering the approximately
Yes.
26 miles
That's the story that we learned.
to deliver the news of the victory. This legendary run inspired the modern marathon race, symbolizing the
Yeah,
endurance
adrenaline, I
and
can
spirit of
imagine.
the Greeks. The Battle of
There's
Marathon
very
remains
little
a symbol
people
of courage,
lost on the Greek
strategy,
side.
and the indomitable spirit of the Greeks. It marked the beginning of a series of conflicts that would eventually lead to the rise of Athens as a major power in the ancient world. Thanks for sticking with us until the end.
All right, interesting.
But how I see it, Anatolia, I don't think they could at that time during this fight, they couldn't have gotten it back because the people on the side,
Persians?
yeah, the Persians were already like in that vicinity. So if it's like kind of like how the
Yeah.
United States, how they started to take a little bit, and then it became the whole area. It just like it's harder to defend
Yeah,
Anatolia.
It is hard
on the
because
Greek side.
the hubs are on the
Yeah,
other
on the
side. Yeah,
side.
you have to travel through the
Mhm.
sea. Yeah, it is harder for
Mhm.
sure.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And as always, share as much kindness as possible.